The Cask of Amontillado by Edgar Allan Poe. Good day to each and every one of us. My name is Jean Leica Tiho Bess from Bachelor of Elementary Education. Table of Contents. We have the summary and 6 guiding questions. So, let's begin. The summary of The Cask of Amontillado by Edgar Allan Poe.
This is a story about an Italian man who wants to kill another man named Fortunato. But he doesn't want to murder him with a sword or gun. Instead, he lets Fortunato, in a sense, kill himself. The man sees Fortunato, greets him, and tells him he has just bought some Amontillado, a good wine, but doesn't know if he got a good deal. Fortunato is a self-proclaimed wine expert and would love to verify if the wine is authentic. The man insists that Fortunato continue his day, but Fortunato insists that he will help. The two men venture to the wine in underground vaults. Fortunato is harboring a bad cough but insists he can keep going. When they get to the vault with the Amontillado, the man restrains Fortunato to the wall with a chain and lock. Drunk, Fortunato remains still, while the man begins to wall him in with bricks. Slowly, the man builds the wall to shut Fortunato in. Fortunato begins to struggle, but the man keeps building up the wall. He throws in a torch before sealing Fortunato up for good. A lot of attention should go to discussing who the narrator, or killer, is. He is described very little in the text and so his identity is mysterious. However, one has to also ask who this man is sharing this story. A friend? The police? A priest?
Guiding questions. What is Amontillado? Amontillado is a sherry wine that is darker than Fino but lighter than Oloroso. It is named after the Montilla region of Spain, where the style originated in the 18th century, though the term Amontillado is sometimes used commercially as a simple measure of color to label any sherry falling between a Fino and an Oloroso. Amontillado is distinguished by nutty aromas, tobacco, aromatic herbs, and often ethereal, polished oak notes. Amontillado wines are exceptionally complex and intriguing due to the combination of 2 different aging processes. Why did Montresor seek revenge on Fortunato? The entire plot revolves around the protagonist's desire for vengeance for an insult. After 1,000 times and I had suffered quietly. Montresor had sustained at the hands of the Fortunato, this was the final straw. Montresor doesn't say what insult Fortunato hurled at him. He also makes no mention of the thousands of injuries. Poe wanted to keep his story as short as possible, believing that in a short story, there should be no unnecessary words, and that describing a lot of injuries would add a lot of words of explanation. Also, if Poe stated the insult directly, readers might not believe the insults were serious enough to warrant such severe retaliation. How did Montresor know the house would be empty? Montresor anticipated that the house would be deserted because the Italian carnival was in full swing, and all of the house servants would be out partying. He cleverly exploited this to entice Fortunato back to his house so he could exact his revenge. Montresor instructed his servants to stay in the house while he went out for the evening. This, I knew, was enough to make it certain that they would all leave as soon as my back was turned, he quips wryly. Why does Montresor make sure Fortunato has drunk a lot of wine? He intends to get Fortunato a little tipsy in order to calm him down and slow his reactions. Because alcohol is a depressant, it causes the body to slow down, making Fortunato easier to catch and keep dazed. Fortunato was also affected by the niter in the catacombs and used wine as a Madoc to control it. Do you think Montresor's crime will ever be discovered? Why or why not? Fortunato's body was hidden in a niche covered by a stone wall deep within the dark catacombs, so I don't think his crime will ever be discovered. The chances of someone finding Fortunato's body are extremely slim. For half a century now no human hand has touched them. Montresor says at the end of the story, referring to the bones and bodies in the catacombs. I doubt anyone will find the bones or bodies if 50 years pass without them being discovered. You wouldn't have seen Montresor commit the crime because he did it with such precision and efficiency. How is the theme, what goes around comes around, brought out in the story? Montresor's powerful desire for vengeance is the driving force behind his heinous murder of Fortunato. It's mentioned in his first words in the story, Fortunato had hurt me 1,000 times and I had suffered quietly. But then I learned that he had laughed at my proud name, Montresor, the name of an old and honored family. I promised myself that I would make him pay for this, that I would have revenge. The concept of vengeance is mentioned several times in the first paragraph. Montresor says he will not rush to act, but I would make him pay, yes, but I would act only with the greatest care. In Montresor's mind, the terms of the revenge are crystal clear. Fortunato will not feel fully vindicated until he realizes that his punishment comes from Montresor's hands. A wrong is not righted until it is righted. When retribution overtakes its redresser, a wrong remains uncorrected. It's just as unjust when the avenging angel fails to appear to the wrongdoer. Montresor is carrying out his family's motto by seeking vengeance.
Thank you. I hope you learn a lot.